What's up, guys, and welcome back to another HP Motorsports YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of side work, and I've been wanting to do a little bit more of a how-to video, but on some of these, when I do a bigger job, it's a little bit difficult because I may have 6-7 hours of work trying to condense it down to a 20-minute video. But we're going to paint this hydraulic cylinder, and it's not going to take long, so I can be a little bit more in depth as far as how to do stuff with painting. First thing we're going to do is wipe this down. We want to keep it as clean as possible with any paint job, but this especially is very oily because they just rebuilt the cylinder and they scratched it up. That's why we're painting it. It's going back the same color. That's the color of the truck that it goes on. And they just had to rebuild it, and if you rebuild the cylinder, you're going to scratch it. So first thing, let's wipe it down. I'm wiping this down just with lacquer thinner. Right now, when we go to put it in the paint booth and paint it, we'll use a different cleaner, but for right now, this is going to be the best thing to get any excess hydraulic oil off of it. Now we're going to start sanding it. I'm only going to use 180 on a couple spots, basically on the ends where the pins go through is a little bit rough. The rest of it's going to get 320. So I noticed that the cylinder had a few runs in it from the previous, whoever painted it the previous time. And I kind of sanded them so that you can see there's like a sag right there. And they had it sitting like this, so paint dripped off. You can see where it's hanging right there, and it dripped right there. And every painter gets runs. I get them all the time. I'm not knocking the painter or anything like that. But if you're going to paint over something, that has to be sanded smooth, or you will see it in the new paint job. So we're going to get those completely out and flat so that you don't see them in the new paint job. Now, I would not have normally done that way, but being that this is a cylinder, shaped like a cylinder, I should say, the DA will take those out just fine. If this were a flat panel, I would have had to use a block or something like that to only knock out the high spots. And that's all we're doing with 180. Now we're switching to 320. also pretty interesting because, yes, I paint cars for a living, but you wouldn't believe the amount of random different stuff that I've painted. From an airplane, a couple mailboxes, to I painted a piece for a headstone, golf carts, a go-kart for a little kid, four-wheelers, side-by-sides. I've definitely had people ask me to paint some very random things. And this goes on a service truck that the guy likes everything to be color matched to the truck, so that's why it's getting painted. Like I said, I've done a couple horse trailers also. Those are not fun to paint. After scuffing it, there's a couple little spots that I need to sand a little bit better. So we're going back to the 320. I'll show you all those spots after they're done. Alright, so now it's done. You know, anywhere where I sanded, like all these spots, is somewhere where it had like a chip or something along those lines. This is actually interesting. So if you can see those spots right there, that is oil from when I just blew it off. And that goes back to what I was saying about how you need to be really clean, because that oil will cause what we call fish eyes in the paint. And so you can kind of see where that run was right there, but it's flat and smooth. Sometimes it just looks like that when you sand a run out. And there's some nicks right here from when they worked on the cylinder. I'm not worried about those. I'm not fixing them because it's a hydraulic cylinder. It's not a show car by any means. So I need to clean it again to get all that oil off, and then I'll blow it off again. And if I see those specks again, I know that it's still not clean enough. Another thing that's worth mentioning is if you're doing this at home, feel is going to be your best friend, because if you can feel something with your finger, then when you paint over it, you're going to see it. So it may seem extremely minor, or you may think, oh, paint will fill that. It won't. Step is to get it in the paint booth. I'm not not going to show that because I'm going to need 2 hands because it's not light. We got it in the paint booth. Automotive paint booths are made to hang stuff from the ceiling because obviously we can't have this sitting on a stand because we need to paint all the way around it. So our next step is to wash it one more time, and I gotta go get some paper towels for that. Okay, I'm back. We gotta wash it one more time. The only difference is this time we're gonna wash it with a water-based cleaner, not lacquer thinner. A lot of companies have solvent-based stuff. I have some here too, but it's just not what I'm using this time. Either one will work. And this is the one where it can never hurt to do a little extra because you don't want dirt in your paint. The other thing with cleaning, your final cleaning, I should say, is so this cleaner's in a spray bottle, and that doesn't matter. But the paint company tells us that you always got to wipe it once, at least once, wet, and then you got to wipe it again with a dry rag. That's why I had 2 different ones. Now it's time to go mix the paint and the sealer. Normally I would already have this done because, well, we're trying to get stuff done quick during the week, but on this, since I'm doing a how-to, I'm trying to slow it down and be a little bit more detailed. Okay, now we're in the mixing room. I got a computer and it tells me which toners to use or which hardeners or reducers, anything, and how much it should weigh. So we have a scale here. I got a cup for the paint on the scale. We're going to mix sealer first. We only need a few ounces, that's why I have a small cup. And these are all of the toners that we have for this. So yeah, sealer is going to be real simple. It's going to be a white, a black to mix a gray, hardener, and a reducer. So whites first. Blacks next. Hardener. And reducer. Now I got to put this on the paint shaker, and then I'm going to mix the base. I'm not sure right now how the noise of the paint shaker is going to affect the video. So the base is pretty simple, pretty similar, just different toners go in it. So if you can't hear this, then you just get to watch. There's probably going to be a good bit of toners. There's going to be more stuff than what's in sealer. This right here is turtle. It comes in what looks like an Elmer's glue bottle. See if I can mix the light in a little bit. Yeah, that's the lighting stuff. Now I have a paint shaker on, so it should be easier. Put it on here. gotta put this on the shaker while we go spray the sealer.
I'm going to do a couple voiceovers now because the paint booth is too loud, so it would not make a pleasant video. First, I blew it off real quick, and right now I'm wiping it off with a tack rag, and then we're going to spray the sealer. Now I'm back in the booth to spray the base. In the controlled environment of a paint booth, there's no humidity and it's heated. So I pretty much just step out of the screen, check my phone for a second, maybe send a text, and then I spray the next coat. If you're doing this at home, you're definitely going to have to wait a little bit longer in between coats, because if there's humidity or if it's a little bit cooler outside or anything like that, that's going to slow the paint down some. But it can't hurt to wait a little bit longer than normal. So if you're doing it yourself, that's what I'd suggest, is just slow down and it'll come out better. We just sprayed 3 coats of base, and now we're going to spray 2 coats of the mid coat. On camera, you're not going to be able to tell how the mid coat affects the color, but the mid coat is what gives the color the depth that it has.
Okay, we just got done spraying the mid coat, and I wanted to show you guys that this is the mid coat. And on a 3-stage red, the mid coat is very transparent. You can kind of see how you're looking. It's really, you can just see right through it. And I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up, but on most 3-stage reds, the base is pretty orange, and the mid coat is what gives it that really deep red color. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys is what paint guns I use. This is the gun that I use for base. It's a SATA 5500 RP. I originally bought it for clear, but it sprays base way too well. Even there's another painter that works with me during the week, and he'll pick up this one long before he picks up one of his own guns. You know, this is definitely our favorite gun for base. And the gun that I spray clear with, I already had the cup of clear on it, is a Iwata W400. And it just, once again, these are definitely my top 2 guns. Like, I'm about to buy another one of the SATAs. It's just, I like them a lot. These are my 2 go-tos. I don't even really feel like trying anything new right now. But if you're doing something at home, there's nothing wrong with using a Harbor Freight spray gun. They'll do just fine as far as like how the finish comes out and all. If you get them set right, they'll do a great job. The only reason I don't use something like that is because I need paint guns that last really long. I mean, we're doing 20 to 30 cars a week, and you know, it's just hard to buy something really cheap. I don't want it to only last a month, and then while I'm in the middle of doing something, I have a problem with it. If you do want to step up to something above a Harbor Freight gun, this Iwata W400 is what I would recommend, because you could get this probably in the $400 range, maybe a little, you know, $350 to $400 range, I would say, and it'll spray base just fine. My base gun, I wouldn't recommend you guys buying it. These right now are pushing $1,000, and for me, it's worth it. I'd buy another one in a heartbeat. If you're doing something at your home, there's no reason to buy a $1,000 paint gun. So, with that being said, let's go spray our first coat of clear.
I did spray a second coat of clear. I just, for some odd reason, didn't film it, but it's basically the same thing as the first coat. You get the point.
I got it loaded up because I'm going to take it back to the owner instead of him coming to pick it up. And everything came out good. The paint is slightly fresher than I'd like to take something home like this home, but I put these blocks of wood under it because where the ends of the cylinder, I put these blocks of wood under it because where the ends of the cylinders go, you're never going to see that part of it. And actually, this side in particular, or this, what's the bottom side right now, is what you won't see at all. So it's going to be just fine, and I'm going to get it strapped down, and then we can head out of here. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one. We should have a good few videos coming out soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe.